Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome penny stock billionaires, momentum traders. It is moon time. We are starting to see stocks really breaking out today. We got Palantir, Beyond Meat, Roblox, Nextech, which is a client company. So that should be considered paid content. Beyond Meat, I mentioned Beyond Meat, yeah, ARK, of course, and a couple of others. Look, I think we're starting to see. Again, I know this sounds like a little bit, I cried wolf. That the market is kind of in the process of bottoming for certain sectors. I do think the overall indexes will be going lower, but there are certain sectors that are starting to bottom out. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on when we look at these charts. Although the major indexes, the S&P, NASDAQ, the overall indexes could be in for some more significant pain, probably for the next couple of months. But starting to see the green shoots. Look, the reality is I'm always a little bit early to these things. I said that the market was going to top out, back in, December of, 2020, December of 2020. And we had a little melt up into February, and then things collapsed. But okay, let's get into what is going on with these charts. So let me make myself take myself out of the picture. Let me take this out, and actually, yeah, so we can make this a little bit easier. All right. First one up is Palantir. This stock. Take a look at this chart. I mean, we got some really interesting action happening off of the 50-day moving average. Look at this. I mean, it's amazing. I love the 50-day moving average for a lot of stocks. That's all you really need. You want to be long above it, short below it, or out of the stock below it. So, and look how accurate it's been kind of for Palantir. You can see that it's been using that 50-day moving average as a support line for the last about 7 trading sessions, almost last 2 weeks almost. I mean, it broke out above that. You see, it had a breakout, and then it's been kind of using a support, and now we're bouncing off it. So it's kind of like using it as like a trampoline to make a bounce. So I think Palantir could be heading higher. We looks like we have kind of like an inverse head and shoulders happening here. The chart is not, there's not enough data on the chart. I usually like to see a chart that's at least 12 months old, and this chart is not quite there. There's not enough data. Otherwise, we might be looking at a double bottom. In other words, if this thing had a little more data, potentially we could be at a double bottom on the Palantir. Let's take a look at what else do we have? We got Palantir. Let's take a look at another mover today, which is Roblox. By the way, I use the Yahoo chart. I know everybody hates it, but to me, the visuals are good. Okay. Interesting action in Roblox. Look what's going on. Look what's going on with the Roblox. Same thing. We got a breakout above the 50-day moving average. That's very, very bullish. I mean, that's a major bullish divergence. Here's the thing you got to look at. When the market is crashing and you have stocks that are breaking out of moving averages and with momentum that are up, that's very positive. I mean, to me, that is a super positive indicator, which says that, hey, when the market normalizes, these things are going to really moon bigly. So this is very positive. I'm sorry. Let me go to the full chart. Here we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Very, very positive. By the way, if you're just brand new to our channel, please click the like and subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to join our Telegram channel, the link is in the video description below. We got different stuff going on there throughout the trading day. That is free. Twitter, all the links in the video description below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Look, we've had a lot of massive winners, and I think we're set up. This is the time to get in for the next wave of massive winners. Look, the time to get position is not after when stocks have made a big run, when they're running, not like December of 2020, January of 2021, when things are up 500% and heading to 1,000%. No, the time to get in, or they're already 1,000%, and they might go to 2,000%. No, the time to get in is when the stocks are beaten down. We have charts that look like this on some of especially our penny stocks. By the way, all our big winners happen right at these low levels. Okay, so Roblox, what is going on with the Roblox? Again, the metaverse looks like the metaverse Web3 theme is in play today. You got Unity up today. Nextech had some action on. The stock is down. I guess a little bit of profit taking. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So Roblox is broken out above this 50-day moving average. It didn't quite, it's interesting. The stock has not quite touched it in the last week or so, like we saw with Palantir. Palantir was really hanging on to that moving average, using it as a support line. Not so with Roblox, which means basically Roblox has a little more strength, a little more momentum. So it's the stronger stock, and we can see definitely the activity is much stronger today. You got kind of an inverse head and shoulders bottom, double bottom happening here. It's kind of different ways of looking at this. Again, it's a very new chart, not enough data on it. It's only like, February, so there's really not a lot of data. But I think we got some momentum. I think we could see, Roblox trade into the $75 range. Not a lot of resistance. Maybe, I don't know, you could say, I don't see any significant resistance in Roblox till $75. Sorry, I didn't mention on Palantir what the number was. So let me back up. Palantir, again, you see this, I think we got a next level of resistance, probably kind of this $15 range. I think, look, once we break out of 10, 12, $15 is the next level. Maybe we could see move into the 20 range, 25. I'm not a big fan of this thing. I don't think this is going to be a, $100 stock. I just don't see it in this chart. I just don't see it. Just very wonky type of chart. I know people love it for some reason. I don't know why. Whereas you look at this, to me, this is a chart that has a lot more potential. I think this thing is much more likely to move. Okay, let's take a look at another stock that's been, former theme stock, which is Beyond Meat. I'm not a real fan of that whole business, whatever, but the chart is the chart. And I think today we got some action here. The stock is getting some momentum. And I think we could be looking at a breakout. Look at this. You see this moving average? This 50-day moving average has been like sloping down this whole time like this. And every time the stock touches that moving average, it goes right back down. It's like magic. This is how powerful these things are. It's like, how do you explain these moving averages? Is it market psychology? Is it moment? Is it I don't know. Is it the Matrix? Is it it's just, but it's amazing the way it works, right? So don't overthink it. Really, don't overthink it. So I think, okay, so speaking of not overthinking, I would say, look, this thing is ready to break out. We're approaching the moving average, but we've seen what's happened on 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 occasions. This stock has every time it approaches the moving average, it does not break through. We haven't seen a breakout. So the smart thing to do is wait to see if it breaks out. If we see Beyond Meat breakout, let's call it $30. That would be a significant move. If we see a move above $30 next couple of days, yeah, that could be the signal of a new, a new uptrend, or at least a little bit of a consolidation. At the end, it could be the end of the decline. That's what this could be indicating. So that's actually pretty positive. look, if again, I'm not a fan of those things. I kind of don't like the fundamentals or whatever, but normally I would kind of, again, it's a little more adventurous. I would jump the gun and buy the stock here before it breaks out of the moving average. But the smart move is to wait. So I think next level of resistance is probably in the $75 range. We got a bunch of these stocks that I think there's a common theme here. A lot of these things could basically, we could have, maybe this is a, I don't have a crystal ball. It could be, what could be happening is that some of these stocks could be, they may have found the bottom and now they might be just going into a consolidation phase where, again, yeah, sure, the stock could double, it could go to 75, but then it can consolidate in that consolidation area for quite a while. I mean, it could stagnate. I mean, we could see stocks basically in these trading ranges. This is kind of, I think, the big fear in the market where, these things go into a trading range, like a big range like this for, a year, 2 years, until, the animal spirits are back in the market, until there's, the malaise, the stagnation of America stops, until we get some revival. So which would mean into probably, a new president coming in, right? I mean, look, the reality is we're kind of going through the whole Carter administration. This is not a political thing. I'm trying to stay away from the politics thing because I think Twitter banned one of Twitter has banned a penny stock billionaire account for too much political commentary about certain people who are currently in the White House. So we're not going to make any political commentary, but we're going through kind of a Carter-esque type of stagnation, which might be going on for a couple of years. It's very possible. So that could be the playbook. We could be going into a playbook where, you see a stock like Beyond Meat go from 27 to 75. Maybe it could even go to 100. And it'll just be in this trading range for, 2 years until, we get somebody like Trump or, I don't know who else. DeSantis, that guy's a little bit of a boring guy, but we need some, we got to get the spirits revived. That's really what happens in the markets. So that could be the outlook. Let's take a look at, okay, here we go. All right, so that's Beyond Meat. Let's go into what else is moving today. Let me just do a quick chart of Nextech. That is one of our big movers, but it's down today. It's down. It was up earlier in the day. And it is down. But if you look what's going on here, again, this is a Web3 metaverse company. So it's like, very totally different business, but in the same overall theme as Roblox, as Unity, which I'm going to show you that chart. And the action here looks very similar to what you're looking at with Roblox and Palantir, where the stock is broken out of the 50-day moving average, and it's been kind of using it as a support line. So it's a little closer to Palantir, but I think this one has a lot more momentum. Now, of course, Nextech it's a client of Octagon Media, Wall Street Reporter. So this should be considered paid content. Take it with with a grain of salt. Although we've had some pretty accurate picks. Right? I don't want to say picks, but analysis with this stock going way back. It's a stock we introduced at I don't know, was it 40, 50 cents American? It went to 7 and change in 18 months. And look, I think these stocks have a tendency to repeat past performance. We got a beautiful double bottom happening here. Now, unlike Roblox, unlike Palantir, this thing has a long chart history, or at least long enough for us to get some insight, insight into what's going on. To me, this looks like a massive double bottom going back almost to the launch of the company in 2019. By the way, these guys have a lot of catalysts in place. They're at an inflection point. I'm expecting some news, some significant news. They've probably been sitting on it because of the holidays and all that, and the market's been declining. A live stream is tomorrow, so I invite you to join the live stream tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern time, Wall Street Reporter channel, Wall Street Reporter 1843. And the good news is today they announced the spin out of their metaverse or the Web3, the Maps business. You're actually going to get more shares. So I don't know why the stock is down today. It should be up today. But yeah, basically going to be doubling the number of shares you're going to be getting. And the good news, it's going to be trading on the CSE instead of the TSX, which is a great. I'm so happy because I think that the CSE is a much better Canadian exchange. TSX is a total shithole exchange. I mean, it's like the TSXV is like I mean, it's like a third world country, really. You're dealing with complete idiots. Yeah, CSC much better. People that know what's going on. It's a little bit closer to Nasdaq almost. I mean, a little more entrepreneurial. Very happy to see that. So, Nextech, look what's going on here. We're bouncing off the moving average. Next level of resistance. Now, again, because it's a Canadian stock, and Canadians, they don't like to see advice or anything that sounds like advice or whatever, stock projections. So I can't tell you where I truly feel it's going. I can't say that. I mean, I do believe stocks return to old highs. You've seen where that stock has been. Once this breaks out, I'm looking at some next levels of resistance. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go there, but these are the next levels of resistance. So this is not advice or any type of stock projection at all. Based on this chart, we're looking at next levels of resistance. We got a little resistance at $1 range. That's a significant psychological number. This is the American chart, by the way, NEXCF. So $1 US is like $1.30 Canadian. So we got a little bit of resistance at $1 range. Next level is probably in that $3 range. So I think if Nextech manages to break out, we could see it's very possible to see a kind of a trading range develop in that possibly $2 to $3 range. Again, not advice, just kind of telling you what the chart is suggesting here. Those are the resistance levels. Those are not price targets. Resistance levels. So you got again the key resistance, psychological resistance, $1 in the US, probably $3, and that's based on kind of this prior peak here, which was the June 14th, 21. That's the stock of June 14th last year was $3 American. That's almost $4 Canadian, right? So anyway, look, we got exciting things happening with Nextech. So this is definitely one that you want to keep on your radar. Let's go into Unity, another metaverse stock, Web3 stock like Nextech. This has got some interesting action here. A little bit of interesting action. Again, not a lot of data on this chart. This is a little bit early. This is not like giving us a flashing buy signal like a Roblox or something, or even a Palantir or whatever. We're still significantly off the moving average. I think this thing is trying to break out. We're getting some action today, obviously. It's a counter trend rally. But you do want to see a breakout above the 50 moving average. And you know what? We had a couple of fake outs, as you can see, back in March. So the trend, this thing, it's been trying to make a bottom since May, right? I'm bringing it up only because a lot of people are watching it. I'm not a fan of this thing. It could pop, but it's not a high. I don't see this as a high probability trade. The Roblox looks like a high probability trade. Palantir looks like a decent probability trade. Let's take a look at Grab. I don't even know what these guys do. It's probably some scam. Anyway, this thing is looking pretty interesting. We got a nice kind of bottom happening here. Look at this moving average. If we manage to break out, and it looks like it's about to, like literally as we speak, Grab could be breaking out. It's sort of like I guess it's like a third world country version of Uber. We did have a fake out over here on the moving average back in May. Well, actually, no, it didn't. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So I'd like to see this thing close above $3. Even, you know what? Even 370. That would be confirmation of a possible bottom. So I think Grab could be bottoming out. I mean, it looks like it, but it's possible it could be fake out. Again, until this thing is above the moving average, you really can't trust these stocks. There's just so many fake outs here. All right, let's kind of wrap up here. Liquid, we haven't worked with Liquid Avatar in quite a while, which is probably why that stock is down 50% since. You got to call the company. You got to ask them what they're doing. I'm kind of still holding them because I got, they gave me shares for services, and I haven't really sold it because I was kind of hoping it would move. I sold a little bit, to be honest, but I'm still stuck with a lot of it. And I think it can go. I think that stock can go higher. Personally, or I'm hoping at least. By the way, I want to bring up to your attention another stock, a former client, which is Fans Unite, that is actually breaking out of the moving average today. I actually own some shares from an option exercise from way back. I should have dumped it right away. I mean, I should have dumped it at $2. But look, things looked so momentum-y that I thought it could go to 4, and that's what happens. You get high in your own supply. So yeah, look. Anyway, this thing is interesting. Look at the moving average. We've seen the thing break out above moving average a couple of times. Every time it did, we've seen a run. Pretty much. The first time was November 2020, had a run. Over here again, February 21, June 21, bit of a fake out in September. And now it looks like we might be seeing, this could be for real. The reason I'm bringing this up is that it looks like we have a double bottom here, right? We could see breakout. We got a pretty wide base. And, if we see Fans Unite start to move, let's say if this thing goes to 50 cents, $1, not even if it goes to 50 cents or above that, I think that will be an indication for the market that that's kind of going to be the all clear signal that, okay, the bottom is in. The bottom is in the micro caps, because I don't think these things are going to go any much lower. I don't see Fans Unite going to 5 cents. I don't see that happening based on this chart. I think we've got big support. Same thing with Nextech. I mean, the charts are actually quite similar, very similar type of charts. So once one of these things start to move, that is going to, I think, also help other stocks in kind of that space pick up. So if Fans moves, that's going to be bullish for Nextech. If I think Fans is going to be going on to TSX, bad move. I don't think they should be doing that, but whatever. I think these guys are getting bad advice in general, but I hope they do well, because I just want to be able to sell my stock, get out at a decent price, let's see what else is going on today in the markets. So I'm bringing up Fans because that could pull things along. Okay. You got Nextech. Okay, we're looking at that chart. AIML, I'm keeping an eye on this one here. One of our other client companies. Oh, very interesting. Again, not a lot of data on this chart. We're very thinly traded, but I have to bring to your attention, we're above the moving average. I mean, the charts don't lie. I mean, these things, I don't make this stuff up. It's like, I'm not telling you, oh, it's gonna moon. I'm just telling you what the chart is telling you, whatever the stock is. If it looks, my philosophy. I've been telling you this for years. You want to be long above the 50 moving average, short below it, or out of the stock. So the AIML is moving up. We got a little, we got a whole kind of this range of resistance in this 20-cent range. The stock needs to break out some high conviction closes above the 20 range, and the next level of resistance is probably going to be in kind of the 50 range. So, I do see the stock has the possibility of making a run into the kind of that 50s, even kind of like 50, 75 range, or very possible we could develop a consolidation there. But again, the market is waiting for this company to release some fundamentals. We need some fundamentals. We've heard an interesting story. Here's what I like about it. The valuation is cheap. This thing is trading at like a $5 million market cap. So that's pretty cheap. There's a lot of catalysts in place. They're in the health tech, AI, machine learning space. They got a patent which could cover the, has a pretty broad patent for the wearable space, which I think is a major catalyst. I don't think a lot of investors are really quite understand how big of a deal that is. We might find out. I think we're starting to get some hints. There was a licensing deal, which is just a little bit of an appetizer. Look, I want to focus on the charts. I don't want to get into the fundamentals. We'll have the CEO come back on a live stream to talk about that, but it could be very interesting. Again, I don't want to, we're not giving advice about stock price. Canadian stocks, I can't tell you, any projections or anything. But what I can tell you is, based on this, we've got some resistance coming up in this kind of 20. I don't say 20. Did I say 20? It's 25 cents. You got resistance at 25-cent range. Another level of resistance in that kind of 50 zone. You can kind of see that on the chart, and probably at 75 cents. So, this thing has, a decent amount to run. If they get some news, we might see a run over there. Yeah, so we got some things. Look, we're starting to see some green shoots. Things are starting to, percolate. Things are starting to percolate in the markets. So I am, I'm very constructive. I think Neuran, I'm kind of waiting. I think they got, they had this stupid trading halt because the financial letter I don't know, whatever. So it might be a while. Quite frankly, Chris, it might be quite a while. Because I think they want to get their stuff like straightened out before they go on. IPNFF, wow, that's an old one. We haven't worked with Imagine AR in so long. But you know what? I like Alan. I think he's a great guy. Listen. Business-wise, I'm very honest. I think there are certain things CEOs should do. I want to see momentum, things like that. So which we did not see. You would not see acquisitions. We didn't see the things that could have been done. But look, they're doing their best. I think this is a guy that is definitely he's a real guy. So what's going on with IP? I'm looking at this chart. Yeah, this has been like not great. Yeah, we haven't worked again. Our involvement with IP kind of ended in sometime in July of 2 years. It's been 2 years. Wow. Time flies. But you know what's interesting? I'll tell you what's interesting. We got involved with IP. I think, when did we get involved? I think they signed up with us I think it was here. I think it might have been in March. I think February of 2020. I think the stock was like 6 cents. I think it was 6 cents, but all of a sudden the COVID thing really hit, and then the market completely fell apart. And I think they kind of went off the radar for a little while, and it didn't come back till like April, and the stock was 2 cents by then. But look what happened. It went from 2 cents in April, to 40 cents. That's a 2,000% move. 2,000%. Yeah, so 2,000%. Maybe we should even say that's when the point where we got involved, really, because I think they started doing the live streams in April. So yeah, right around that 2.5 cent range. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this thing is. This chart doesn't look like it's going to come back anytime soon. So I don't have any good news for you on that one. let's go into what's going on here. So AIML is looking pretty good. You got Nextech. What about our other stocks? We got things are kind of like right now a bit in the doghouse. Pharma drug is below the moving average, kind of struggling a little bit. They haven't put out news in the last month or so. I'm gonna make a note here. I gotta get the seal. Yeah, we gotta get this thing going. Yeah, this is like ridiculous here. Nova. I have good hopes for Nova, one of our clients. Again, I'm just looking at this. We're below the moving average. I hate to tell you this. I don't like this. Hopefully we can get this thing turned around. But yeah, it's been a little weak in the last month. Interesting. They have some pretty good news. We got some catalysts. So let's see what happens here. Again, big support in the stock at a nickel, although I don't think you want to hear that. But I think we could see a major move here with Nova. I think we could see a move based on getting some positive results from the clinical trials phase 2A they're going to go into. Nextech getting a little bit of action here. Look at this, little bit of activity. Okay, so I think I'm just about done. Let me see, 1 hour chart. Yeah, this thing is looking pretty good for a day trade. All right, guys, yeah, look, the problem with the ESC is very simple. The problem with the ESC is without promotion, that stock is going to go nowhere. I mean, and I've contacted Conrad. I mean, look, the guy said, "Oh yeah, we're going to be promoted. Yeah, we're going to be on and do an interview. This." This guy's falling off the radar. I mean, what's the stuff I don't know what these guys are thinking. I mean, it's so stupid. It's like, it's very obvious. As soon as the guy got onto a Wall Street Reporter platform, next super stock, the stock ran up. It went from like, what is it? 30 cents, 20 cents, whatever it was, 30 cents to $4, $4.50. When he's promoting, the stock is trading and it's up. When he's not, it is down. He hasn't done anything in a couple of months, the stock is down. The stuff they're doing with, was it proactive investors or whatever bullshit, nobody pays attention. I mean, those guys don't have there's no buyers in that audience. That's the problem. And they don't, they just don't know how to communicate a story also. So really, I mean, it's very disappointing to see what's going on, but they need promotion. They need momentum to make the story work. It's an M&A roll-up story. Okay. So, if you're doing a roll-up story using stock as acquisition, you want that stock to be liquid. You want to get investors buying that stock. I mean, he's not doing that. So, you call him, ask him, like, Conrad, like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, you just, maybe the guy doesn't want to win. Maybe I think a lot of these CEOs I've noticed, they're kind of afraid of winning. Like, just when they get to the point when the stock could break out and it could really explode, they freeze up. Like, they don't, like we saw that happen with CBDT, a couple of other stocks. It's a weird phenomenon. The one place I guarantee you don't have to worry about that is with Nextech, NEXCF. This guy, Evan Gappelberg, completely relentless. You've seen they're promoting the stock forever, from day one to now, nonstop. Bull market, bear market. They're out there aggressively courting investors, meeting investors, getting the word out, and planting those seeds. Because, at some point, once the market stabilizes a little more, we could see some real action in that stock. Again, Canadian regulations, I can't tell you, price predictions or whatever, but you can understand what I'm talking about. ESC, great numbers. Yeah, but it's been baked in. It's been baked in for the last 2 months. We knew it was coming, or he said it was coming. So great, he delivered on it. But some of these guys, some of these CEOs, it's amazing. It's like some of these guys don't get it. The market needs the next thing. It needs the next carrot. You got to have a carrot out there for investors. I mean, you're not buying it for last month's results. You're buying it for the future growth. You're buying to see what the stock is going to do in 6 months. We need fresh hope, fresh story. That's what the market needs. So, Yeah. Again, if you want to see a case in point of something being done professionally, company engaging with investors with transparency. I know you millennials love that word transparency. So you know Nextech is super transparent. I think look, I think once the market stabilizes, we could see some exciting things start to happen. Yes, Neuron is trading. They started trading. I guess we're just waiting for them to catch up, and hopefully we'll have back on a live stream soon. Okay. All right. If you're just tuning in for the first time, please click the like, subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. Visit our channel, wallstreetreporter.com, to get latest news, updates on all these stocks, videos, all that good stuff. Tomorrow, we're going to have Nextech 1 o'clock on our YouTube channel, Wall Street Report 1843. Make sure you join our Telegram channel. A lot of great information there. So enough said. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I will see you all in the next live stream. A lot of you are probably on vacation right now this week, so enjoy your vacation. See you tomorrow.